We are on linear equations, assignment 8. It's going to be a quick one today. Some basic skills if you've been practicing. Let's math it up. That's not my intro. All right. So the first question, 1, is all about creating an equation when you're given a line on a graph. So there's going to be sort of 2 steps involved. The first one is going to be finding the y-intercept, and the second one's going to be finding the slope, and then you'll have enough to do the slope-intercept form of the equation. So let's look at the first question. There's our y-intercept right at 1, and our slope, here's the next point where it intersects, so our slope is from here to there, and that's going to be 2 and positive 1. So we have, now we can write our equation, right? So we go y is equal to the slope of the line, 1/2, positive 1/2 x, and our y-intercept is positive 1. That's it. That's our equation. The next one, once again, there's our y-intercept right at -1, and then we have our slope, our next line, our next intersection is all the way down at the bottom of the graph. So we have a run of 3, and a rise of -4. So we have our slope and we have our y-intercept. Y is equal to negative 4/3 x minus 1, right? Minus 1 is the y-intercept. Let's look at question 1c. Now, y-intercept right at 0. Y-intercept is 0. This is going to be a bit different. Next point we want to look at is all the way up at plus. Y is 5, x is 2. So we're going to go 2/2. And we're going to go 5 up, positive 5. So this is going to be written as y is equal to 5/2x plus 0. But why would I write plus 0? This y-intercept is 0, so we don't need to add anything. Just y is equal to 5/2x. That's as simple as this one is. Question 2a. Once again, it says write the equation when you're given the slope-intercept form of the, write the equation in slope-intercept form when you're given the graph. So when you're given the line on a graph. So once again, first step, find that y-intercept, -1. Next step, find the slope. And so the next complete intersection there is going to be there. So we're going to go, there's our run, there's our rise. Our run is 5, and our rise is -1. Rise over run. Okay, so y is equal to -1/5 x minus 1. That's our formula. Right, 1 is the y-intercept. -1/5 x is the slope. -1/5 is the slope. Let's look at the next one. There's our y-intercept. Remember, always find that y-intercept first. This is question 2b. And then we want to find that slope where that slope doesn't happen down here. Like, we can't see it for sure. Right? If it was here, it would also be here, and it's not there. So we're going to have to work backwards on this one, find that next point which is crazy high. It's all the way up here. So that's going to be back 3 and up that many. So again, so now instead of thinking about going here and up, why don't we think about going from this point down and over from that point? That could be our slope. So we're going to go down, how many here? From 4 to -3. So that's down 4, 3. So -7 is our slope. And our run is 3. And our y-intercept is -3. So y is equal to -7/3x minus 3, because our y-intercept is at -3. So the slope, right? So y is equal to the slope, -7/3 times x minus the y-intercept, which is -3. This one is 2c. Once again, always start. Where's my y-intercept? It's right there. Y-intercept right there. Next one we want is I want to find my slope. So let's look for the next intersection. I think that's it right there. Yep. Where's my run? There's my rise. My run is +3. My rise is 3, 4, 5. My rise is +5. Y is equal to the slope, 5/3 times x plus, nope, minus 3, because that y-intercept is down here. That y-intercept, this y-intercept is right here where it intercepts the line. So we have a new one, and now we need to be graphing the line. So it's going to give us a formula and we have to graph it. So we need to find 2 points on this line in order to graph this line. First point is easy. It's the y-intercept. So right there, -3, right? Here's our y-intercept, -3. Place it on our graph, -3. Next one I want is our slope. Our slope is -1. So you don't see it here, but this is like 1x. You just wouldn't like write it as 1x. It's 1x. Or we can also think of it as 1/1 times x, right? There's my rise and my run, 1/1. Rise over run. So let's go. Next point will be 1 over, 1 down, rise over run. There's my 2 points. Or I can draw as many points as I want. It's kind of nice to draw out lots of points, because then we can be more accurate with our line. There's our line. Next one. All right, so this is another one that is similar. Y-intercept, +2. It's a positive x, so +1x, or we can think of it as 1/1. And that means it's going to have a rise and a run of 1. The next point is going to be right there. So we can draw that line. It doesn't want to draw these lines very nicely. Right there. And right there. The more accurate you can be, the better. My line is fairly accurate. It should be on like all of these spots right here, but I'm just slightly off. Try your best to make that line accurate. Okay, y is equal to -3x plus 3. Right away we can think, okay, -3, it's like 3/1. So the slope is rise of 3, -3, run of 1, plus 3x. 3x is our y-intercept. and then 3 over 1. So for every 1 move here, 1, we go 3 down. So our next point is going to be right here. Once we have 2 points, we can graph it, of course. So we can go right through those 2 points, all the way across our graph, and all the way back. Use a straight edge for this. Use a line as much as possible, a ruler or just a nice measuring device to draw that straight edge. Okay, for A, so we have some fractional. I always find these fractional ones are actually easier because it has the rise and the run, like the rise and the run right into it. You should be thinking right off the hop, when I'm looking at this, I see that there's this negative sign. Negative. We want to make sure that negative is there. And make sure that we understand that line's going to be going down and across that graph. It's a -1. It's going moving down as we move across the graph. So first step, y-intercept. There it is. 3. Next step, our run is 2, and our rise is -1. There's our next point. As soon as we have that, we can graph it. Right there. And I like to draw my lines. I have this like pencil that does it, so I have to draw both directions. There it is. Okay, let's look at our equation. It is a positive. Our slope is positive. 4 up for every 5 over, and my -5 is my intercept. So let's go to -5 as our intercept. Let's look at our slope, 4/5. So we're going to move over 5. We're going to move over 5 and up 4 to here. So our line over 5, up 4. Will be right there. Not quite 1. Close. Just make that line into a line. Okay, there's my line. For C. So we have +4 is going to be our intercept. And we have, as you can tell, we have this negative slope, -2/5. So we're going to move always forward 5. Oh, that's all the way across the graph. No, that's 6. Forward 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my, and then down 2. 1, 2. Right, there's my 5. There's my -2. That's my next point, and I can grab my ruler and I can draw those 2 points. And I want to make sure I go right across the graph here. There it is. All right. Not too hard so far. And we're already on 5. Writing the equation again. So now these are equations. Remember, we're looking for 2 things. We're looking for the slope and we're looking for the y-intercept. Y-intercept's right there. Next point on this that intersects perfectly at one of these cross, like right here, right, is right there. So we have 5 over, a run of 5, and a rise of +3. So y is equal to 3 over 5x, and -3 is our y-intercept. That's a weird 5, but it is a 5. All right, next one. Where's our y-intercept? Right there. There it is. And where is our next point? Right here. Now I have 2 points. I can calculate the slope. I'm going to go forward 1, 2. 2 is our run. We're going to go down 3. -3 is our rise. Now we have our y-intercept and we have our slope. We can calculate, or we can create this formula, this equation, in slope-intercept form. Y is equal to -3 over 2 times x plus 4. Last one for question 5. There's my y-intercept, +2. we need to now find our next intersection. So it looks like it's all the way on the edge of this chart, and we're going to go over 5, run of 5. We're going to go up 2, rise of positive 2. So our formula is going to read y is equal to 2 over 5 times x plus 2. That is our equation for this line. Next one, number 6, back to some graphing. Remember, this is going to be as if it were 4 over 1. Our run is going to be 1, our rise is going to be 4. Let's start with our y-intercept right at 3. And we're going to go 1 over and 4 up. So we're going to land us right here. There's our 2 points. Once we have our 2 points, we can create our graph. That's it. There's our line representing this linear equation. 6b, sorry. Let's go. There's our, right here has the negative as well. There's our y-intercept, -3. Right off the top, -3, put it on there. Slope, -2. This is going to be -2 over 1, right? This is a slope of, for every 2 down, it moves 1 over. We're starting here, 1 over, 2 down. There's our slope. And right away, we can draw that line all the way across our graph. And finish it out the other side. That's our line. Next one, y-intercept +3. Write it on our chart, our graph, our coordinate plane. Right, so there's our y-intercept +3. Let's look at our slope. It's going to be 6 over 1. That's our slope. For every 6, 1 over, it moves 6 up. Now this one's a little bit weird, because if we move 1 over and we go, it's going to run us right off the chart. So we have to understand that the slope can work backwards. For every 1 to the left, we move 6 down. 1 left, 6 down, which will bring us to all the way to -3. There's our next line. Now that we have our 2 points, pretty easy. Draw those 2 points on our chart, on our coordinate plane. Finish that line off. And that's it. That's all. That's the whole assignment. I hope that made sense. Just practice, 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 practice. And math it up.